Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of my wedding planning series. Today, I took a step outside. It's a beautiful, cool morning here in East Tennessee. But hey, I've got my friend Aidan here with me. He is from Central Florida. Aidan, thank you so much for joining me today.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks, Hunter.
He is a successful wedding photographer, and we have gotten connected through some different photography connections recently. And so I'm excited to ask him a few questions today about how couples can pick the right photographer for them. So let's just start off, Aiden, by you telling us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your photography.
All right, sweet. So, I'm based here in Central Florida. It's a little town called DeLand. But I actually travel all over, to do my photography. So I've been up to Georgia, I've been down to Florida, I've been up to Massachusetts, all along the whole East Coast. I've been doing this for about 8 years now. I am pretty young. I'm 23, but I've managed to make it work. It's my passion, and I'm loving the fact that I'm able to do it as a full time job too.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Um, Definitely we'll post in the comments how to see your photography work and post your links to your social media and everything else. So
Right.
we'll share. But yeah, let's just jump into the first question here. For couples that are getting married, there are a ton of wedding photographers out there. Uh, how can couples kind of cut through that and find the one that's right for them? What should they be looking for?
Right. So, honestly, it really depends on the couple and what they want. Some couples just want to get a quick photo and stuff like that, and some couples want, the whole shebang. So, whatever one you are, though, there's a general base rule that I would like to say is you want to cut the photographers out who aren't going to care about you or your photos. You need to find somebody who's going to, treat you like family, treat you like friend, because if they're not connecting with you and they're not reaching out to you to try and connect with you, then honestly, they're probably just in this industry. And sadly enough, in our industry, we get a lot of photographers like this because it's pretty easy to go pick out a camera today, but it doesn't mean they know what they're doing, doesn't mean they know how to use it and how to actually perform the service that you're looking for. So the odds are
Yeah.
that if you have a photographer who's just out there throwing prices at you, or the first thing that they want to talk about is their packages or themselves, then that's probably not the person for you. So what the
Sure.
bride should be looking for is somebody who's genuine, somebody who's going to connect with them, want to learn more about them, their families. Like, do you guys have a dog? You know, all that types of stuff. Just so that they can feel more comfortable. Because through my experience, anyways, with doing photography, it's a very awkward experience. So the closer people are together, the more at ease they are, and the better the photos will come out in general. So that's probably one of the biggest things I would say to look out for when you choose your photographer is finding somebody that's going to try and reach out to connect with you, not you trying to connect with them.
Sure. Yeah, well, speaking of that, I mean, I know from just our past conversations, as soon as a couple reaches out to you, you um, you don't sit there and try and think, oh, this is my next client that I'm going to be booking. Your next thing is, hey, this is a new friend. I want to meet this person and really have that connection. So, uh, elaborate a little bit more about that relationship that you try to build with a couple, and how that really comes across in the photos as far as making them more comfortable, things like that.
Right. So, first thing, if somebody reaches out to me, like I had somebody 2 days ago actually, they said, "Hey, I want to hire you to do my wedding photos." And I said, "Hi, my name's Aidan. What's your name?" You know, so some people want to just jump right on it, but for me, it's not about the money, it's not about, trying to get big quick money from this. It's more about trying to connect with people and really trying to become their friend, like you just said, that we've talked about before. So I feel like it's really, really important to do that because, like I mentioned earlier, if they can't trust you and they can't really, connect with you, your photos just aren't going to come out right. They're going to look like your high school portraits, and it's going to feel like your high school portraits too. So I'm pretty sure nobody wants to feel like that on their wedding day. First of
Sure.
all, you know what I mean. And not only that, it's just
Yeah.
like when you have somebody that you can connect so well with that you're almost family with them, it's like there's this form of trust that gets built up with you. And
Yeah.
like that's kind of my goal, is why I focus so much on connecting with brides and couples, to the point where it's like I want us to be best friends, because then, if you have a friend who is like does something in their profession, you're going to trust them. You're not going to worry about it if you leave
Right.
that task to them. So that's a big thing about it too, is like on your wedding day, you don't want to be stressed out with having to worry about, oh, did he get this shot? Is he going to take a picture of this? Is he going to do this? Blah, 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 blah. That takes away from your
Mm.
day. That takes away from the memories that you're supposed to be having on that day. You don't want to remember your wedding day, as a stressful day. So,
Right.
forming that connection really helps to put the brides at ease, because they just know Aidan's got it. I don't have to worry about it, things like that. So, I feel like it's such a big, huge thing to be able to connect with somebody. I mean, I text my brides regularly. I talk to them like they're my best friends almost every day. And I even introduce them to my wife. I'm like, yeah, go talk to my wife about your dress, your flowers, this stuff, all that type of things. So my
Yeah.
wife helps me out too with it. So it's really cool to see how much you can connect with people. And then afterwards, you get lifelong friends that you can go do stuff with. And then if they know you're a photographer, so if they need anything, they're going to go straight to you, and you know that you're going to be able to provide them with what they want. And that's the big thing too, as a photographer, is it feels very accomplishing. Not accomplishing, there's a word for it, I just can't get it. It feels very fulfilling to
Sure.
be able to take something that somebody wants and then give them your creative idea about it, and then they just love it to the point where, I mean, I've had brides tell me they were crying when they were looking at their photos and stuff like that. So it's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing all around.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's definitely rewarding. I mean, I've had couples that, kind of what you're saying. As soon as they see their final album, they're like, okay, for the very next milestone in our life, we're going to be calling you. So
Right.
whatever that is, we're going to call you and have you come take pictures. And I'm like, cool, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Or those people that are like, you do their engagements, then you do their wedding, and then they're like, hey, first year anniversary, can we meet
Or
up with you
babies,
again?
right?
So definitely, right. So
Yeah.
definitely fun. Well, what's the number one question that brides ask you? Um, that if you've had a lot of people ask you this question, I'm sure a lot of other people have asked this question. So what's the number one question that you've received?
So this one is that's kind of difficult, because I get asked a lot of questions, and just trying to think
Sure.
about like the number one would be like why do I do what I do?
Oh
Because
yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are interested in that, and or like, how did I get into doing this? Um,
Yeah.
so, when I get that question, I love it, because it also gives me a chance to be able to, tell people that, photography is my passion. I'm
Mm-hmm.
passionate about it. Like, you could ask my wife. All I talk about is photography, and no, it annoys her sometimes because she's not a photographer herself, but she'll come out and help me on shoots and stuff like that. But yeah, I get asked that a lot, and it's just like I like that question, because I also get the chance to explain to them why I do what I do and the reasoning behind it, because that also, you know, brides, if you ask that question to a photographer, that's going to really determine, you're going to be able to determine who they are and why they're doing what they're doing. Because if they give you just a short answer or something like that, that's going to kind of determine the quality of that photographer compared to somebody else who actually loves the job that they're doing, and they're doing it to do it. Like, I just love to go out and shoot. I would be shooting out right now if I had the chance, like I just like going out and taking photos, and that's what it is for me. So but it's also about giving back to people, giving them, tangible memories and stuff like that. So that's a big part of the reasoning for why I'm a photographer. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Well, okay. If there's one last piece of advice that you can leave um, for couples that are watching this, what would that be?
Um, do your research. Do your research. That's definitely one thing. And be open minded. Definitely be
Mm-hmm.
open minded, because there's a saying that you might not know what you like until you see it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't give yourself the opportunity to see something, then you'll never know if you like it or not. So I would
Mm-hmm.
say just be open minded with stuff, do your research, give yourself a variety of options so that you can kind of narrow down on what truly hits you in your heart. Because if you're
Mm-hmm.
just going off of just, prices or um, something that's cheap for your wedding, your wedding planning or something like that, it's going to come out in every aspect of your wedding, whether it be the
Right.
photography or people remembering bad food or people remembering the DJ wasn't great or something like that. So if you wanted to have a truly beautiful and awesome wedding, the tip that I would give is just to, be open minded, do your research, and put in the effort to make sure that even if you're having a smaller wedding or a grand, large wedding, make sure that you're getting the highest quality of the area that you're in.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Aidan, thank you so much for taking just a few minutes. I know you're a busy guy. You've got a lot of couples that you're in communication with every single day. But how can we find you on social media?
So I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and I'm also on Pinterest. It's New Dusk Photography. So you can search that out, and you'll be able to find me pretty easily. So yep, that's my handles there.
All right. Hey, listen, I appreciate it, and you have a good day.
Awesome, thanks, Hunter. You too, and bye,
All
everybody
right.
else.